fantastic episode of ComicGains. If you're new to the show, I'm Adam.
I'm Zach, and this is the Princess of Rojas doing the Princess Wave just like usual. Bow down, respect, and of course there's Coco.
Yes.
I think I missed something in there. I was a little excited.
We got all right, guys. Yeah, we got a really exciting episode for you today. So, some major stuff going on in the comic book world, and we are part of the comic book world. So I thought we would touch on it a little bit. You know, we're not super into all sometimes the negativity stuff, but every once in a while we have to put in our 2 cents. So we're gonna talk about the CGC scam. And a major update just got released today, so we have to talk about that as well. Plus, because we are a comic book channel, we're going to talk about New Comic Book Day, because that's my favorite part about comics, is every Wednesday when the new ones come out. Mm-hmm. So, before we get into any of that, Zach has an exciting drink to kick the show off.
It's a carbonated Ramu drink.
Oh, is it carbonated too?
It's carbonated. I think it's from Japan, our neighbor. Not really. Over the ocean. I've always wanted to go there. Apparently, you're supposed to. This is what it looks like, and apparently, I'm supposed to pop it.
Is it that way or the other way?
Is it the other way?
Yeah, probably that way.
That way.
Does it go in?
No.
Oh, maybe I don't know.
Maybe I just
do it, Zach.
Okay.
Do it.
Oh wait, I think I put. That's right. I pushed down.
I don't think it should be that hard because you're pretty strong, Zach. So.
Well, okay. Here we go. It's supposed to be. It's supposed to be simple.
Oh. And little kids are supposed to be able to do this?
Well, I probably wasn't doing it the right way.
Okay. All right. Okay. Woo! Just to update too, Coco hurt her back a little bit, so if she squeals, it's because she's having a hard time barking.
It's like sugar water.
That's usually what it is. That's usually how it goes. But let me say hi to all of our friends before we get into some serious business. Las Cruces from New Mexico, first to the game. How's it going, brother? Jeff Coy. Woo! Welcome in, Jeff. Oh, we got Stig Papa in the house. Scott Weber. Ooh, our friend Scott Weber.
Scott.
And neighbor. Nuttek. Oh, I love Nuttek. Welcome in, buddy. Ciro in the house as well. Got love for you too, Ciro. 4-stringer as well. Sharky Marky also from Canada. How's it going? Larry Green. How you doing, buddy? And Milt. How's it going, Milt? Hopefully, you guys all had a good New Year. Zach, is it even carbonated?
It's carbonated, but it's just...
Oh, that's the little glass ball. You gotta eat that at the end.
No, you're like, I'm trying to drink, and then it like plugs the hole, and like it's...
It makes you drink slower. That's actually, you know, kind of like slows down the drinking.
It's gonna force me to drink.
See? That's how it goes. All right, guys. So let's get into. We'll do New Comic Book Day first, and then we'll talk about the CGC scam a little bit. We did a little homework on it and kind of, you know, did some stuff. So, but before we'll just do some.
Yep. Current updates.
Oh, thank you, Milt.
As
wearing one of your favorite T-shirts.
The 3rd today. It's very updated.
Yes. All right, guys. So let's kick it off. Fortunately enough, there's actually we didn't get any DC books this week, so I apologize to all you DC fans out there. Nothing new on the DC front at the Gaines household. So we've got The Walking Dead Deluxe issue number 80. We made it all the way to number 80. I've read every single issue up to this one, and it's a brand new arc. It's the No Way Out arc, and if you guys remember in the show, or if you've already read the story, they kind of get into those like large groups of the roamers or zombies. You know, actually they don't ever call them zombies in the show, or in the book or the show. But when they have those large groups, just kind of like mow down huge areas, that's where this one's just starting to take off. So it's actually been a really, really fun read. Loving it in the color version. It's easier on my eyes. Marcus, how's it going? Welcome in. All right. We got Venom. Issue number I don't think Al Ewing's been writing this for a while, so actually it seems like he's back on the title. So I know there's a brand new story arc starting in with this one. And obviously it's very Dylan heavy, which has been cool. He's got the new costume, so he like updated his Venom costume to look different than it used to, so you can see it on there. And when he touches or joins with other symbiotes, he can kind of change their kind of powers and things a little bit. It's kind of interesting. So I believe he was also doing stuff with Normie lately as well. So it's kind of like a bunch of the kid symbiotes all hanging out together.
Hola.
Ooh, the name change. How's it going? And if you guys didn't know, Moon Knight started over again today, and I was wondering, I was like, why did I get this book, this cover? Because cover A looked really good, and I remembered that this was a Capullo variant, which is cool. But Moon Knight started over. If you guys read the last issue, he died in I think it's like issue 30 or something like that. Wow. He died at the end, and it looked pretty finite. I'm not really sure who this Moon Knight is going to be, because they kind of insinuated that Reese, the vampire girl, who his first appearance is in like the first book of the McKay run, Jed McKay run, was taking over as the new kind of Moon Knight, or at least in charge of the area. So, and it didn't look like Hunter's Moon was like taking on the monocle of Moon Knight. He was just going to stay Hunter's Moon. So I don't know who this guy is.
So they're continuing the series, or is it like?
I'm guessing. I don't think is it the same writer? I don't know. Maybe that one doesn't say. That's the Capullo variant, but that's what I've been seeing so far. So we'll have to see. Yeah, is Moon Knight ongoing? I believe so. It's just gonna start over at issue number 1. I'm happy if Jed McKay's writing again, but I'm not sure. I can't remember who was writing. All right. Speaking of, 20th Century Fox has teamed up with Marvel again, and they have the Beware of the Planet of the Apes came out. Scotty Young did an awesome cover for that, so of course we picked that up. I'm probably not going to get into this series and read it. I haven't really didn't read The Predator. I tried the Aliens one when it came out, and it was like only okay, not the best thing in the world. And I don't dislike Planet of the Apes, but I've never been like a huge fan. I watched all the original ones, like the Charlton Heston one when I was growing up, and enjoyed that one a lot. And I believe there's a couple sequels to that were only like decent. And the new ones were kind of hit or miss. Like for me, I saw like the Mark Wahlberg one, which I think people don't like that one, right? And then there's the new one with like Caesar the monkey that like everyone seems to like a lot more. And I think I watched the first couple of those, and they were like pretty decent, but.
That show kind of creeps me out, to be honest.
Yeah. When I was a kid, were they like, after they killed those one guys, they put them up in their own museum, which makes sense, but that scared me when I was like, they put that guy in the museum. Freaky.
Kind of messed up.
Freaky. Chris, how's it going? Welcome, man. Woo! But we bought the comic because it looks cool. Although I do hate that 20th Century Fox logo at the top, which I've said a million times, but every time I look at it. All right, we got Kid Venom. The Origins came out today. So Kid Venom got his own solo story book. This is his first solo title. Couple things. You guys, if your LCS doesn't check very careful, check to see if the one per store is at your LCS. There is a one per store that came out for this.
Oh, nice.
Maybe they put it on the rack. Maybe they don't care. But check that one out. Kid Venom showed up in like the Venomverse series. He was just a small little book at the end. It didn't really intertwine with any of the main Marvel universe at all. He just kind of his own solo story, but it was very anime. And I believe the writers and artists are like anime writers and artists for it. So could be cool. It could be cool. Liger, what's up, buddy? Oh, Captain, my Captain. How's it going? All right. And we got some, there's a lot of cool stuff that came out today. So Fall of X. So the Hickman's X-Men run is starting to end now. So you got the first issue. This kind of been going on, but this is like the end. So there's going to be the Fall of X, House of X, and then I think there's going to be Fall of Powers of X. So the series kicked off, I think, 5 years ago with Hawks and Pox, so House of X, Powers of X, and they were really good. I read through all of them. I didn't originally want to jump into it, and I was kind of skeptical, and then I finally did the dive and read it, and I told Zach they were amazing, super, super good. And they're ending it now, so I think there's going to be 2 series as well, where there's going to be Fall of House of X and Fall of Powers X, but check them out if you're into that kind of stuff. If not, you don't really have to read all the X-Men run from start to finish to kind of get a feel for it. You can just jump in at some of the the major events. They have like X of Swords or Sins of Sinister, and you can get like a taste of what's going on. Or the galas are really cool. There is a Scotty that goes with it. Interesting that Cyclops is on the cover.
Ooh, more Scotties.
Yeah, so check that one out. Yeah, the Archerim cover is killer on that one. That's the trade dress. I believe there's a 1 in 50 that is a version of that cover. I'm not sure if I like that or not, that like the 1 in 50s or the 1 in 100s are the same book as a regular one without the trade dress. I feel like they're a little less special than being like a completely different book, but I don't know. Not like it matters that much, but Just in my head. And we got
New Year.
Amazing Spider-Man issue number 41. Zeb Wells, John Romita Jr. Gang War is still going on. I have now read quite a few books in Gang War, and I still don't really care about it, but I'm reading it, so it just, seems kind of
Captain Comics.
it is what it is. It is what it is. It's not horrible, but it's just kind of Everyone's dealing with like their own problems. Woo. They say, maybe take a. Zach, say hi to everybody.
Pirates are.
All right. And last but not least, it is the 50-year anniversary of Wolverine. And if you guys were looking, if you ordered comics ahead of time or your LCS had some extra ones in there, they kind of redid all these famous covers with like all Wolverines, and there's a lot of them. So there's like more. I think there was like more than 10. Most of them I thought were kind of goofy, but this one I could not pass up on. So this is Captain America issue number 5, and it's the Wolverine 50-year anniversary cover. It's a Jim Rugg, Jim Rugg's awesome. Like,
nice.
Really cool artist, but obviously homages like the Captain America 100. It's a dope cover, so could not pass up on that one. Anyway, that's new comic book day. Like I said, we didn't get any DC, but I didn't really see there was much going on with DC this week. So, but you never know. You never know. Ooh, Coco wants to stay over here. All right, let's get into some scam business, right? So, let Zach take it away. He's the expert on scams around here. Yeah. Not scamming people, but catching the scammers.
And getting scammed sometimes.
That's true, yeah.
I've been scammed. So, something happened a couple weeks ago, right here it says December 16th. They brought a certain YouTuber outlet and get it into the YouTuber that found all this stuff out, because I think he'll know them a little bit better than I. But, there was a scam going around. Things were being reholdered that weren't what was saying on the reholder, and so some people are making a good amount of money. And we know one person, we won't say who yet, but so they were looking through the stuff, and they saw Amazing Spider-Man 252 in a Mark Jeweler being sold, and it sold for a crazy amount of money. It was like $15,000 or something like that, some crazy thing like that. And they figured out that this book that was in this case that said it was a 9.8 Mark Jeweler was not a 9.8 or a Mark Jeweler. And they found out because it had the same, correct me if I'm wrong, it had the same serial number, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is crazy. I'm like, how are they doing that? And people were in an uproar, and everybody's getting mad at CGC, and of course whoever this guy was selling, or whoever sold it. And they were like, CGC, why aren't you doing anything? Well, they responded, I believe, about 12 days later. It took them to respond. And CGC says they're aware of the tampering, they're looking into it, they're hiring a private investigator. They're saying, hey, we've been doing this for 36 years, about 36 years somehow. And they've done 85 million collectibles. And so, hey, have trust with us. We're going to get down to it. And they say that they're going to be appropriately compensated for anybody that has been aggrieved, who have actually bought these slabs, and potentially might go extra steps and to find this person and bring them justice, is what they're saying in here. Let's see. And they're going to try to make sure that this tampering was never going to happen again. And I'm trying to think if I'm forgetting anything. It's just a general update. Hey, we're looking into it. Hey, we're going to have your back and whatever. We'll keep you updated. And here's a email. If you find any more of these slabs that have been potentially, tampered with and sold as if it's something different, then contact us here. And you can find that on the CGC comic board. But recently, as of today, and they have updated it, and they've updated it potentially. This might only be some of them, but they updated of all the books that might be affected that this guy has submitted that they could find as of this point. And they were saying that they thought it was just going to be hundreds, and I think hundreds are what, about 200 books when they say hundreds, or could it be? Anyways, they
hundreds means 900 to 100.
Well,
999 to 100.
They have identified 350 books that he has submitted for sure. They don't say over a time period, but that Hulk 181, at least, there was a 252 and then the Hulk 181. That Hulk 181, we have verified that it was on this list. So it's this guy that actually submitted all of these books, for at least for the Hulk 181. And it looks like the Amazing Spider-Man 252, but I didn't have time to confirm that. But he did submit a crap ton of books that had Mark Jewelers in it.
Hey, Roxy.
Crap ton of books that were 9/8s. And we were looking through the list, and looks like he just kept on resubmitting the same book. He had an actual 9.8, and then one that wasn't a 9.8 and wasn't what it was said. He gets the 9.8 back, the real one, takes the slip out, or I won't get into that. But anyways, and we'll probably get into that. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on with this, and it's a big list. And surprisingly, there's a couple books that you would suspect, like an ASM 194 and the 252 and Hulk 181. There were some books in here that I did not expect. Like the big one was AF 15 and a 6.5 signed by Stan Lee. I don't know how that could be, but it's on the list.
Mm-hmm.
Now, am I forgetting anything?
No.
I'll ship it off to Adam.
Yeah, so just a couple things to go over, and a lot of other YouTubers did a really good job reporting on this, and a lot of this is like our information, getting it from them, so you got to kind of give credit where credit's due. So I know like our really good friend West Coast Dave Enger and the 99s, the original ones that kind of like figured out this whole scam and did like a lot of the legwork to kind of see how things were going. And then Automatic Comics, really good channel as well. He's actually the guy that went on and like looked at the books that were sold on eBay and kind of found this guy's account, and then was able to go on Go Collect and like double check the pictures. And that's a really nice thing. I didn't think about that with Go Collect over like GPA analysis, is that they have actual pictures of the sales, so you're able to like look at the ticks and spine wraps and like match these books up against like the lower grades that were sold. That was really cool. And Swaggle House reported really well on a bunch of this stuff as well too. So a lot of good information there. Like Zach was saying, it seems to be that they know of one guy right now. So, yeah. But obviously this scam seems really easy. So there could be a lot more out there. Mm-hmm. They just only have access to like one guy's account that they were able to like figure this out. And it looks like, the community is the ones that figured it out, and not like CGC. And the easy thing that they're doing, like Zach was touching on, is like it seems to be they're popping open the top or even damaging it themselves and just switching the labels that are like on the ones, because we've gotten tons of damaged CGC slabs, whether they're like shipped from a customer or shipped directly from CGC to us, and it's super easy. You just send it back to CGC and they'll reholder it for you. There's no question they're not going to regrade it. Like, we've never done anything like nefarious when it comes to that kind of thing, but there's no questions. Like, and some of those things are like, almost like cracked open, depending on the slab. So it'd be like super easy to like switch something out. So this is just the only person that they caught, and it's a little crazy. It's a little crazy on a lot of stuff. And there's there's a lot of people now that were saying like maybe start buying like the book that's inside the slab and not look at the grade. But that's crazy too. Then like, what's the whole point of getting it graded? I was a little like, whoa, like It is what it is. But and a lot of the stuff made a lot of people angry. I personally don't buy that many graded books online, not for any particular reason, just because I'd rather like find it raw and get it graded and like get a better deal. But Zach buys a lot of graded stuff, mostly graded stuff, so you gotta like worry about that kind of things. But I will say that, and Zach kind of touched on a bit, CGC did do an update today, and I know some of you guys in the chat have been saying that too as well, which is good. I think really good on CGC, because despite what you think about anything, they're our preferred grader for a number of reasons, and it's really hard to change. I think like it's kind of like you have like an Apple cell phone for like your whole life, and then you're like, hey, you're gonna switch over to another one. It's like really hard to change. But as much as I'd like to switch over to CBCS, it doesn't make sense as much, because like the money's not there, you're gonna get less for your book if you get it graded by them. And I do like their slabs like slightly better. I won't get into like the difference between slabs, but CGC did come out today and say that they basically have found 350 books that are in question, and that they have a list of all the serial numbers up on the website right now. And if you think or you have that book that matches that one, you can send it back to them. They will check it and regrade it, or basically reslab it for you for free if it's everything's cool with the book, like it is the book that it was supposed to be in there. But if it's not the right book and you did get scammed, it looks like they'll be compensating you for whatever you lost on it, which they should be held accountable to that. You know, when it comes like, I mean, technically they should then go after the guy that tricked everybody, but it shouldn't be us as like the person that's, you know, guaranteed by that certification to have to deal with that. They should be paying out the people, which is nice that they're doing that. I mean, they're gonna have to like backpedal quite a bit to save everything, but I don't see anybody like anyone like all of a sudden like the whole mass of our group switching over to CBCS. I just don't think it's possible. There's too many books that are slabbed at CGC that I don't know. I mean, I don't even think as us knowing this, I don't even think we would switch over to CBCS, right?
No,
see,
not
like,
fully, anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, another thing about what they're liable for, or not liable for, but what they by their policy and what, you know, the agreements that you've done. The only thing that they have to do, if your book that you submitted or that you bought online, they graded it. If the book is actually not that book, as in like it's a facsimile, but it says it's a Hulk 181, or if it's a book that's been printed that's not actually, it's been falsified, you know, that's really the only thing that they're actually, you know, would, you know, give your money back. Usually their policy is they don't guarantee the grade, they don't guarantee if it's restored or qualified or all of that. The only thing they guarantee is that the book is, let's say, a Hulk 181. That's all they guarantee. Yeah, it's great. It's great. I didn't know that. One of the YouTubers, I think it was the same dude that he talked about today. You know, he found that out. I was like, whoa, that's kind of interesting.
That's not good.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
But now on to the seller. The seller is an eBay seller, Comic Selects. He sold over 723 items. So that's a little bit more than the 350. So potentially, we don't know when he started, but he has nothing listed right now. And for some reason, he only has like 285 feedback. So that's interesting too. That's a lot of sales. That's a lot of sales. Yeah. And a lot of the sales, recent sales, were Mark Euler books, 9.8s. You know, here's Secret Wars 8, ASM 252, New Mutants 98, Canadian price variant, Amazing Spider-Man 238. Yeah, just some of them right there. Oh man, it's crazy.
Yeah, and like, I mean, if we were discussing all like how CGC could like, I don't know, take care of this in the future or protect it in the future. I hate to say this, but I'm pretty sure when Zach cracked open that PGX slab, the label was attached to the well. I mean, I feel like that would be like the easiest solve for CGC is like, hey, the label is going to be now attached to the well as it goes into the book. I mean, they'll have to figure out a way to make that look nice inside, but and then anything that has like the ones that can be popped open, or they might have to start like regrading them. No, it's going to cause them more work, but I don't know. It's going to be difficult for them, and they've been, I wouldn't say they've been like shady lately, but just like the speed that they're grading books now, where it was like 6 months to a year, like a couple of years ago, now all of a sudden it's like 3 weeks. And you don't have access to like hardly any graders notes.
Nothing.
And if they're supposedly having 3 people grade every book and then they take the average between the 3 grades, how come you don't have access to like look at the 3 grades? That should be available for everyone to look at, which is, you know, it makes me feel like they're only having one person grade the book. And I could be wrong, but there's just a lot of things that like you don't like the grading has gone like way down where it's so hard to tell like what a book's gonna be.
It was interesting because they touched on that Shadow. Too. They guaranteed that there's at least 2 graders.
There used to be 3.
Yeah, there used to be 3, but they guarantee that there's 2 graders looking at your book to give you a grade. But they say that it's going to be 3 because they want 3, and then you take the average.
That'd be a good point, Scott. Like put a barcode on the inner well.
Yeah.
Surprised I didn't think of that ahead of time. That
Yeah.
we've gotten this far. This I don't know. It seems like I would like I don't have the mind of a scammer, so that's why maybe I wasn't thinking about this sort of thing. But I'm like, now that this has happened, I'm like, this is so obvious. Like, why didn't someone think about scamming this like for the last 10 years? This has been an easy thing to scam.
Right. And what I was thinking too is like, let's say if the paper that they print out, let's say if it gets exposed to air, for example, it will give you like an discolors.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
I mean, they make that stuff all the time everywhere.
Yeah,
you know?
like a moisture thing or something that
Yeah.
like changes color.
It just gives you an indication that this thing has been opened because the label has been exposed to something, and that just gives us like, okay, maybe we should look into this a little bit more.
Yeah. So I mean, it's gonna be a whole new thing. They're gonna have it's gonna have probably brand new slabs in the upcoming years for CGC, which then they'll get everyone to reslab all their stuff again and make even more money on it.
Like
Right?
they planned
Right?
it.
Hey, Thomas Caps, how's it going? But you know, interesting topic. To talk about. A lot of people said this is probably one of the biggest comic book scams to go like ever.
Yeah.
That I've ever heard of, and this is like I feel like this is only the tip of the iceberg because it's like the only thing that like one like they've only found like this one guy, but there's a whole army of us comic collectors out there, so I'm sure
Other people.
there's somebody out there, not even just like the bad guys, but all of us good guys out there. I'm sure there's someone's gonna get on their computer and start looking up all the Mark Jewelers that have been sold and like all of the 181 stuff that could have had Marvel value stamps cut out, things that could have had tattoos in it, anything like that. They're gonna be like double checking these pictures, and more power to go collect for putting pictures of all the books in there. So
yeah. And was it also, doesn't GPA analysis do that too?
I don't think they have pictures.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never used them.
No, I don't think they have pictures. I think they're more a little bit more probably more accurate on the pricing, but I don't think they have any pictures, which is eBay doesn't have pictures of the books that were sold.
And don't be surprised if you hear about some of the older stuff. Like someone in the chat said ASM 3. Multiple ASM 3s were on that list. So they probably got through some of the rare ones. Maybe not the AF-15, but at the same time, you never know. So always be careful when you buy those really expensive books.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Rock City also says UV QR code on the inner well, on the label. Oh, label on the inner well. Yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, they need to do something with it. I mean, just be careful. Everyone, if you get a chance, double check that list if you've been buying anything that's like that expensive in the last like year or so. But I would like anything that's Mark Jeweler or anything like that could have had the Marvel value stamp out. You might want to like have them check it. Be nice. I don't know if CGC is letting everybody check those or if it has to be a book on the list. But if you have that in question, you might as well get it checked. But
You can send them an email. I'm sure that would be fine. Say, hey, it's like they give you email. Say if you find anything suspicious, email.
yeah,
us.
because I mean it's only going to help them because if you get something that's suspicious and it's not even attached to this one guy and you send it in and they're able to figure out like, okay, that was tampered with and here's the original guy that sent that in, then they could put together more information, try to track down like more of these people because there's going to be more. There's got to be more.
There's
got to be more.
I mean,
Hey Bezos,
the original slabs, you could do that so easily. You could pry them open. Alan was talking about the older ones. You could literally pry it open. You could probably actually just take them out without even damaging the.
Yeah, the ones that were like they were like not even like straight in there.
Yeah.
Supposedly they weren't messing with the older ones as much with this thing just because they thought it would be like a red flag.
Too obvious.
Yeah, that they were like that they had like an old label and like a newer slab case or something or vice versa that would be like, oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah, that's how you get caught.
Yeah. But anyway, hopefully we got kind of serious in the talk. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody that came in and said hi. I think Hawaiian Punch I see in there, buddy.
Hey, Hawaiian.
Ooh, Beach City Comics, how's it going?
City.
But yeah, just some interesting stuff. And sometimes on Wednesdays we like to come up with a topic to talk about with you guys. And the research was definitely interesting on this one, and it was cool.
Yeah, no one make money if it was PGX. That's funny.
Four Stringer said one YouTuber showed a possible way with a heat gun to reduce the cracking. Yeah, I'd say there's a lot, and a lot of people said like the CBCS slabs are a lot harder to get into, and we have some of the new ones. I would agree with it. They're definitely way hardier. And I don't, like I said, I don't see as many unboxing of CBCS, but I couldn't tell you a time when we've ever gotten any CBCS slabs that came cracked, bought online or from CBCS, and it's like a a coin flip when you get stuff from CGC, whether or not it's going to be cracked in there.
Yeah.
They've been a little better lately, but you never know. You never know.
Remember that time when you just find little pieces of the inner well like floating around? Oh man, that made me mad. That made me mad. Quality control? What's that?
Yeah. Or hair.
Or
hair that's slapped in there. But anyway, I don't want to rag. I think overall though, I think this newest update that came out today was a really good step in the right direction for CGC though. So, and our thumbnail says that like they may have been on. Zach may have gone a little overboard with that.
What?
But we weren't trying to like actually. I don't think CGC was doing anything wrong necessarily in this thing, other than like having their head in the sand or
right. Like oh, that's. Just push it out. Push it out.
Not paying attention,
yeah,
so to speak. But I think, as long as they're covering anybody's losses on this, that's the best that they can do. Just sucks the person that thought they had a really high grade 9.8. Yeah. Mark Jeweler doesn't have that anymore.
Last thing, not saying anything, but it is a little bit suspicious that this person knew so much about these slabs that he could do all this, knew the process. That's the only thing that seems like suspicious to me. Maybe a former employee?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
There's something to think about. Want to watch them, right?
Anyone that's driven to do anything could find something out. If that's the thing you care about the most, you will figure out a way. You will find a way.
I'm going to scam these comics.
Oh, thanks, Milt. Yeah. None of those
sad.
were tampered with, I'm pretty sure. Unless they tampered like a lower grade. Like, get you a 3.5. Uh-oh. But, yeah, so fun show. Hopefully none of you guys out there got scammed, but just be careful. Be careful when you're buying things, slabs online, and if something seems too good to be true, it might be. It might be. It might be. But as usual, guys, so everybody stop what you're doing and hit the like button right now for Princess. She would much appreciate that. I know you guys can all do that for her, and Coco to help her herd back today. And yeah, leave a comment down below. Let us know. I know like a lot of YouTubers are touching on this, and everyone's doing a lot of hard work and doing some really good stuff out there. So definitely watch some other ones too, because a lot of people, it's fun how they showed you how to, there's a lot of people showed how you can like check things. You can like look at the serial number, and you can like go on the CGC website and you can put in the serial number, get more information. Then you can go on Go Collect and get pictures of the book that you bought maybe before it was sold before. So a lot of good stuff on there. And yeah, Zach, you got anything else?
Yeah, sure. How you do that is you gotta go out, right, to Home Depot, right, and you buy that's actually telling you how to scan. You don't want to.
No, you don't want to like think about scamming.
Yeah. Well, this whole episode was about scamming. Besides new comic book
not
day.
giving people new ideas.
Oh, my bad. Don't do that.
See what's really in Zach's head.
Live a Christian's life.
And Rock City agrees with you.
Or live a good life. That's how you get those gains.
Yeah. Rock City said he thinks that might be a former employee.
Yeah.
It's
somewhat suspicious, I will say. Somewhat suspicious.
Yeah. The reholder department isn't trained to recognize. That's probably too, yeah.
Yeah, a training, and then tools, Facebook group. What? Oh, this is... Yeah, I mean, I can, especially if you were in the higher end, it'd be like, I just want to get my books raw now. At least at least you got the raw book that you can go through, and you're like, okay, I did my due diligence.
Yeah.
I can see how some people would be upset about it.
Or CGC should just offer like a double check. Like anyone that's buying a book that's like $20,000 or more or whatever, whatever price they... CLG, what's up, buddy?
Wait.
Anything that's like over like a certain price, they should be able to like allow CGC to double check the book for them. You just like send it in to them, and they'll just double check to make sure everything's legit and send it back to you without having to pay like that.
An exorbitant, charge them like 3%.
They should, so allow CGC to like double check a book for you. You know what I mean? If you're like, oh, I'm a little worried about this, like let's before the purchase goes, send it to CGC, and then they'll send it over to the customer after it's been double checked.
Yeah. And then they could.
We're just getting into crazy ideas.
Then they could after looking through it, might as well get it re-slabbed and get a brand new label on it, and maybe like see if they want to do a CVA exceptional on it. I think
they could turn this around. Yeah, add a custom.
They could just make. They could just make all
make money off this
and make some money.
Yeah? There you go.
It's a business.
All right, guys. Thank you, everybody, for coming to hang out with us tonight. As always, protect yourself and stay safe out there.
And get those gains, the good gains,
Mhm.
not the scamming.
Yeah, don't
gains.
scam anybody.
Don't scam
No, you
anybody.
guys won't. But...
None of you will. And we believe in you.
Bye, guys.
Later, gainers.